Hello, my name is Edmund Mudibo, and welcome to another edition of The Living Legends. In today's episode, we speak to a pioneer Kenyan broadcaster who has been in the industry for almost 58 years. She has been a radio broadcaster, easy Sunday morning host, and was instrumental in establishing 2 radio stations after the liberalization of Kenya's airwaves. Our guest today is best known for the long-running children's program, Hello Children. On The Living Legends tonight, we speak to broadcaster Elizabeth Omolo. Karibu sana.
Thank you. It's been long overdue.
It's been a while.
A while.
You know, offset, I was asking, you still look the same. What's the secret?
Well, after recording, I shall tell you the secret. I'll show you what I take, what I drink, what I eat.
Yes.
What time I go to bed, what time I wake up, and what I read.
And I'm sure, by the way, when you're coming up, you may have seen on the radio wing, memories may have flooded back. How does it feel to have one wing named after you and the other after another legend, Leonard Mambo Botella?
I was so happy to see that. And I thought this could have been done maybe 10 years ago, but then it's always the right time.
It's always the right time.
They did it at the right time.
Yes.
I was happy to read, to see that, and I realized I've been appreciated. Yeah, so that was good.
Indeed, it's our token of just saying we celebrate you as a legend. But let's get back to the beginning in terms of your
worth celebrating when I'm still alive. Don't wait when I'm in the box, then you come and tell people how good I was.
Yes.
So it's good to tell them when I'm still able to smile at you and talk back at you and say, no, 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 that's not it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. There is so much, and I know we may not really have the time, so I want to really maximize by getting back to the beginning. Tell us about your early life and education, if you may.
Well, I would say to say everything will need like 24 hours or more. To say everything about me and about my career. And okay, we shall be brief. We shall summarize. Okay, I was born in Bukoba, Tanzania, because my dad and mom were there. Dad was working with the East African railways and harbors. So he was in the ship, so he was stationed there as I was born in Tanzania. When we came to Kenya, I went to primary school in Kisumu, then secondary school in Goi Bay, and Nyang'ori High School. From Nyang'ori High School, found myself in Nairobi.
Wow. Now, after secondary school, you joined broadcasting at the then Voice of Kenya, VOK. Tell us how you got to join the institution and become a pioneer woman broadcaster, following in the steps of Muthoni Likimani.
It's always interesting when you put to do something you didn't expect, you know. That's why you do your very best, because you don't know the outcome and you don't know exactly what they want to do with you. So you put in your entire ability. So when I was put in the studio for auditioning, I wasn't sure where I was going, and I was told this is radio studio, and there were 4 European ladies and gentlemen, and they talked to me for about half an hour, and I asked them one question: what is this all about? Then one of them told me, oh, we are taking you in. We are going to train you as a continuity announcer. I didn't understand what continuity announcer meant. But then the then minister had decided they needed to Africanize that department, the English service of Voice of Kenya. So I was kind of handy for them to be used to start Africanizing the station. So when they said they're going to train me as continuity announcer, then I asked, what is continuity announcer? Then they explained what the word continuity means. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know what continuity means?
You basically do the linkage, there's no break, it continues.
Yes, and in between you have instrumental pieces. There's no minute of silence anywhere. You give them the list of programs coming ahead. You talk about a particular presenter and his or her program, and you tell them what you are going to do next, and to introduce the songs, the artist, and the story behind the song or the story behind the singer. So that was continuity.
And now let's look at some of the programs that you did. Radio for Schools, how was it reached at, and the start of this relationship with now what is known as the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, but then it was the KIE, Kenya Institute of Education.
James Onyango Joel told them there's an announcer who can help in presentation of broadcast to schools. They were told to listen, and they accepted the voice and the language, and they said, okay, we can have her. So we were recording most of the programs. And there are times I used to come to the studio now to do continuity for broadcast to schools. But we recorded programs to schools all over the country. And a lot of people still remember that they used to run to the classroom for those programs.
There is the Mike Mahanjam Mike. Recall sounds like hits.
Yes.
How was this reached at, and the start of that relationship?
Well, we
because if I can tell you, others may not know, because on air you had a name, Easy Lizzy.
Yes, it was Easy Lizzy.
And Mike was Mike Mahanjam Mike.
Mahanjam Mike. Yeah, we had those names, and a lot of listeners waited for those programs on Sunday morning.
Yes.
And one thing I remember, but we used to play the latest of the pop music, the latest releases.
Very current at the time.
Yes. And I remember I brought in one group, ABBA. Because I used to listen to foreign stations, and I listened to a station in Europe, and the program is still there, Eurovision Song Contest, and I got that group, and I liked the song, and I told Mike, there's this song which is going to be great, bring it.
Wow.
So that's how ABBA came to our station here.
Wow.
And Mahanjam told me, please don't tell those people to look at me. And I'm glad I'm not appearing on telly, because if they see me, they'll stop listening to me. I asked him, what's the reason why? They said, because I'm very ugly. When somebody's so ugly, you stop listening.
It's always so.
I said, just keep listening. Like, yeah, behind the mic, fine. Mike Mahanjam Mike. Yes, that was a great guy. We did our best, and the program was interesting. We enjoyed all that. Yes. And,
you know, memories really are made of this, because there's series that you are, you know, associated with, a sick tune. And I wonder whether you can recall how it was.
Apparently, one of the European ladies that were there at the station was doing children's program. There were two programs, and she thought I would do one of them. And one of them was called For the Very Young. For the Very Young. Then I decided I'll change the name, and I changed it to Hello Children. When I got that Hello Children, and I went and got my own signature tune.
Yes. And that one, in fact, I want you to you know, play that.
You want to play the sick tune?
I want to hear.
Or you want to sing?
Yes.
No, play the sick tune. It's the Heine, the laughing hyena. I'm Heine, the laughing hyena. I'm laughing all day long. You can play the sick tune, you hear the rest.
Life's sunshiny like Heine, the laughing hyena. I laugh and I laugh and I laugh some more. I laugh and I laugh and I laugh.
Gosh, Heine, you're a funny-looking animal.
Yeah, ain't I, Dory?
You got spots all over you.
Yeah.
You got an ugly-looking face, too.
Oh, real ugly.
To tell you the truth, Heine, you're a mess.
Yeah, I sure am. What I'm laughing at, I don't know. I'm Heine, the laughing hyena. I'm laughing all day long. Because when I giggle, my troubles all wiggle away where they belong.
And you know, we all know that song is associated with Hello Children.
Hello, children.
Tell us about this program.
Auntie Elizabeth.
Yes.
It took me to many primary schools in the country. We used to talk to the children. We sent a letter to the teachers there, said, is it possible for us to feature your children in our program? If you haven't, please listen the next 2 programs and see if you would allow your children to come to the studios if they are close by. If they are not close, then we were allowed to travel to those schools, and we had the equipment. We could record, come and edit and air it, and we had children singing their own songs and telling their own stories and poems, and they had a lot of interesting jokes. And I found out that the parents enjoyed the program more than the children. And so the parents allowed me to continue doing children's program because they wanted to know what is it I'm telling their children. So when they listened, I said, yes, it's interesting. And they waited for the signature tune. The other one said, after the sick tune, I could go anywhere else, but I wouldn't go out before I listened to Hello Children signature tune.
But now also, I recall you were instrumental in setting up 2 radio services after the liberalization of the airwaves in Kenya. Metro FM. Tell us about this, and Ramogi FM also.
No, yes. Metro FM was a KBC station, and we argued for some days about it being the first FM station with capital FM, and we told them we were the first. We were the first. So Metro, we gave it a name.
Yes.
And we had about 1,040 applications, and we had to edit it down to 12. We got the best of the presenters to start Metro FM with George Francis Ndungu and Mrs. Namai, Yulelia Namai.
Yes.
So I headed the station, and it was a hit. It was interesting to head a station and to play all the music that came in and the good oldies, plus having a good old friend, the late Tony Msalame, on Saturday, and Nicola Miawa.
Yes.
Yeah, they had the best of the announcers on Metro FM, and half of them ended up in the US and they have never come back. So we chose the best, but I wasn't very happy when they did away with it. It was a beautiful station,
yes.
Metro FM. But then the time I had gone to Deutsche Welle, when I came, I was heading English service also. So I enjoyed heading those stations, and Ramogi had been there before me, and apparently they just wanted it brought up a bit, picked up where it had stopped or where it was left by the previous presenters. And they called me if I could lift the station up. So I went to head Ramogi FM, Ramogi Radio, and I did that for 10 good years, and it was enjoyable. and it was successful.
You're also a news anchor. How were you picked for this role? Because that's a space also I can empathize with.
News reading.
Yes.
There was a time they were recruiting news readers, and they decided to get readers from within first. So I was in the list of those who could read radio news. And then time came up when they decided I could also do TV news. But before TV news, I was doing Hello Children on TV also.
Yes.
So I did both radio and TV news reading. All very interesting. But there were times that you would panic. You know why? When you have a script from the office of the president, what we call now breaking news.
Yes.
So the boss would come with a script. You're already on air. He comes with a script. He sits the other side of the window. They hand over the script to you while you're on air, and they said, immediately, read it immediately. Now, before the next item. And you, no, don't panic, just do what you can. And they said, there you are. So that also elevated me, because I always did my best, and I didn't make any mistake. When the boss is seated there waiting to hear how you're reading, the language, the speed, the articulation, did they hear what you are saying? Did you make them know what this is all about? I said, yes, my mood did.
Wonderful.
Emotions
yes,
did.
Yes.
Yes.
And now tell us about the delivery expected when there's a tragedy of a major event in the country.
Yeah, that's another part of this career. You know, when there's a tragedy, you have to change your face a bit. There are emotions which go with those tragedies. When there's an accident, whether somebody died or not, you should not be smiling when reading about an accident. Some of our readers, they smile as they read about an accident. This is wrong. When you're reading about a wedding ceremony, it's different from a tragic road accident. In a wedding, you'll be smiling, you can laugh, you talk. Of course, the emotions have to be different, but when there's an accident, more so with the school children, some have died, some are severely injured and they're in hospitals, you feel as a mother, and with emotions, you're with them. They feel you because you're feeling them. You're feeling their kind of mood and their situation and the circumstances, that whatever they are going through, they are feeling.
You're connecting emotionally. Yes, empathy.
You are with them.
Yes.
And they said, yes, you read it with the correct emotions.
Order of the Burning Spear, MPS, third class.
Oh, in my career.
And I can see you've got them there.
Oh, yes.
And another one here again, that is the Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya. You don't buy these in the supermarket.
No, you don't. And you can't sell them either.
And you can't sell them either.
No. I was happy, they appreciated. Those were forwarded, the names were forwarded by the employer. They said, we have so-and-so who is doing so well.
We think is worthy of.
Yes, she needs to be appreciated. We need to accommodate her in that list of commendation from the president, from the government. So that's how I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
5. These are my certificates. These are my certificates. It's not easy. This one, it's only Leonard Mambo and I who got this one. Yes. So I adore them. I adore them.
They must be in a very special place when you place it.
They are. And I had to carry them with me very, very delicately, like an egg. like an egg. But that tells you that don't be in a hurry. This is a very special career. Don't be in a hurry if you want to be a broadcaster. A broadcaster in a very special language, in a very special way, in a very special format, in a very special attitude also matters. How do you talk to your listeners? How do you say bye-bye to them? What kind of topics do you come up with? Because you're supposed to be very creative, and not repeating one song every other day.
It has been a pleasure hearing from Elizabeth Omolo about her life and times in broadcasting. She still hosts Hello Children and Sunday morning devotions on KBC English service, where she established her career as a broadcaster. Aunt Elizabeth has been instrumental in the establishment of 2 radio stations after the liberalization of the airwaves. Thank you very much for being our guest in this episode of The Living Legends. And as we wind up, could you hear that stanza, that song? Because you could sing for us.
Yeah, yes, that part of me that most people don't know. Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, heir of salvation, purchase of God, wash in his spirit, wash in his blood. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long, praising my Savior all the day long.
Thank you for watching. I'm Edmund Mudibo.